Espera. Não, não. Quando entrarmos no próximo vídeo, podes abrir o micro. Quando forem 11 horas, diz. Já são? Então vou passar já para o próximo. Olha, isto não está a dar. Ah, desculpa. Ok. Então espera aí, deixa só este clipe acabar e eu vou passar para o próximo. Hi, good morning. Welcome to our first YouTube Live. My name is Faraz. I'm the marketing manager for PROLIGHTS. Today we're going to talk about a very exciting brand new unit for PROLIGHTS, the EclDisplay. This is an LED spotlight, very exciting and very innovative for the company, which will open a lot of markets for us. But today I really want to talk about the company as well.
PROLIGHTS is a professional lighting division of Music and Lights, an Italian company that specializes in manufacturing technologies for the entertainment, broadcast, and installation markets. PROLIGHTS has its own R&D labs based in Minturno in Italy, where it develops all lighting products from zero. The R&D department is able to create photometric reports, test new products in an environmental chamber, and create all documentation needed for system integrators, designers, or anyone wanting to use our products. Our mission is to listen to our customers and deliver them outstanding products that improve their creative and technical experience. We aim to offer the markets we serve with the best and most innovative products and solutions. PROLIGHTS products can be found on shows, events, installations, broadcast, film and TV studios, theaters, houses of worship, and venues all around the world.
For more information about the company, visit PROLIGHTS.it. So we're going to talk about the EclDisplay, our brand new LED spotlight. The EclDisplay comes in 3 different versions, so you'll see some of these terms as you go to the website: the DAT, the CC, and the UN versions. These are different options of control, which we'll talk about later in the presentation. So what is the EclDisplay? This is a universal permanent fixture for fixed installations. So there's actually over 7,000 different options of control and different options in general for the EclDisplay units, and that includes 5 different LED sources. So we have 4 different fixed white versions and 1 RGBW warm white version of that. We also have 3 different optics, so that's a profile lens and 2 wash lenses, and 3 different control options as we've seen before. So one is the UN, that's a universal unit, so universal fixture. The DAT version, that means data, and we also have a CC, so that's a constant current version of the EclDisplay. There's also multiple choices of colors, so the 2 units that we stock are in black and white colors, but we can also customize the units in any RAL color, and there's over thousands and thousands of configurations that we can do for that. So these units are really designed for long-lasting applications, so whether it's a museum, whether it's a gallery, we really made the units quite robust, so we can use them literally anywhere. We've also made a new generation of optics, so you'll see very high-definition lenses, as I said, the profile, and 2 wash lenses with different zoom options. And there's 3 different options of control. So we can not only use the units as a track-mounted units, but we can also use them as a hanging unit. So with any C-clamp, with any hook clamp, there's an M10 thread on top of the units where we can hang them from a truss or a pipe. We can also use them as a recessed unit, so as a ceiling mount units. We have accessories for that, which we'll look at it later on in the presentation. We've also made a wide range of accessories for the EclDisplay. We really care about all of the designers and all of the system integrators that use these units. So we made a lot of accessories so you can control the shape of the beam, and we can control the color, use filter frames, and use the units in many different ways and applications. We made the unit quite compact and powerful, so you'll see it's a very small size, but very bright, very high level optics and sources. These units are really used for galleries, retail, and restaurant applications. We really targeted them also to kind of exhibitions, hotels, theme parks, along with conference halls, houses of worship, cruises. So there's many different ways of using these units, not necessarily just in the kind of the typical track-mounted options. So let's talk about control. As I said before, we see these nomination throughout the website. So we have DCL, UN, DAT, and CC. With the UN versions, so we have local knob dimming as kind of a little knob on the back, but we can also use the face cut dimming options with the UN, along with DMX and RDM. With DMX and RDM, we have several profiles where you can use, so the standard will be the 3-channel option for kind of the single color and the full color versions, but we have different profiles that we can use and kind of extend the DMX parameters so we can use kind of higher bit rates and higher control options. We also have DALI on the UN version, so that's the Type A is for the CC and Type C on the white versions. So we can use kind of the DALI and RDM parameters to get a lot more information out of these units. We also have the DAT version, so that's very similar to the UN, but does not have the face cut dimming. We still have the kind of local knob dimming along with the 4 DMX profiles, DALI and RDM options. Then we have the CC, that's a constant current version. That's really for kind of the retrofit installations that we can use. So if we're retrofitting an installation from a normal kind of tungsten looking fixture, we can replace with the LED version of the CC and then use kind of an external power supply and external driver with that unit and kind of do as a quick replacement. In terms of sources, as I said, we have 5 different sources. On the white sources, we have from warm whites to kind of very cool whites, so from 2,700 Kelvin up to 3,000, 4,000, and 5,600 Kelvin. And then we have an RGB plus warm white version. On the white versions of the EclDisplay, we have very high CRI, so upwards of 90 CRI values, along with very high lumen flux, and the flat fields. The white sources are made of a 25 watts LED chip, whereas the RGBW version is a 40 watts emitter. With the full white variants, we have that warm white options where we can use as kind of to create very deep pastels and very deep saturated colors rather, and quite pastel colors using that white chip in the RGBW version. In terms of optics, so we have 3 different optics available. First one being the profile lens with a zoom range from kind of a very narrow 20-degree angle upwards of the 40-degree. Then we have 4 lockable shutters, as we can see there. With the shutters, we can also lock them and rotate the barrel 360 degrees, so we can really frame the beam out of the unit, frame it to the objects that we're lighting up, and then lock it and kind of forget it. This lens is compatible with several accessories that we have in our range. So starting with the half snoot accessory, we also have a full snoot and an indexable gobble holder. I'll talk about the accessories in detail later on in the presentation as well. We can see here how to frame the unit. So we can use those 4 shutters there on the sides. Then with a little knob on the side, we can lock those shutters, so we can do the blade lock and use the 360-degree rotation to really frame the objects. Then we also have 2 zoomable lenses. So we have one 15-degree to 30-degree wash lens, and then a 25-degree to 50-degree wash lens. These 2 lenses are also compatible with the half snoot and the full snoot. We also have a louver, a neck rate for these units, for these lenses. And we have a barn door and filter frame kits that really come as one. So we can use that and still add a frost filter, a color filter, and use the barn doors to frame the wash. In this render, we can see the wash lens, how that would look like. So the 15 to 30 degree is really a tight wash lens. So for smaller objects, for near distances, so between the source and the objects, we can use that. And then the wash 25 degree to 50 degree. So for larger objects, larger distances as well between the source and the objects. And here we see the profile lens, so from 20 degree to 40 degree. There's quite a wide zoom range, and using the shutters, we could frame that to the objects. Let's talk the housing a little bit as well. As I said before, we made these units to be quite robust, and that really reflects in the way that we've constructed the housing around the units. So the housing is a die-cast aluminum housing with polycarbonate cover. We don't have any fans, so it's a fanless unit, so it's a passive cooling system, completely silent, with a lockable tilt angle on the side as well. The 360-degree lens rotation with lockable shutters. And then on the top, we have an M10 thread for rigging. So if you're thinking about an installation where it could be quite noise sensitive, this unit is really the best unit for the application. So even though there's a quite powerful LED engine behind that and behind the sources, it's passive cooling, so you won't have any issues with fans and with noise from the fan. As I said in the beginning as well, we have 2 standard colors. So these units come in white or black, as you can see the RAL values as well. These will be stockable units that we'll have. But if there's any custom projects that you're working on, we can customize the units in any RAL color on demand and really make it so it fits in your venue. In terms of the DMX features, bearing in mind PROLIGHTS really comes from an entertainment background. We've developed a lot of features, not only for the entertainment backgrounds and not only for the entertainment fixtures, but we've introduced those technologies, kind of that technology, those features, into these units as well. So starting with a 16-bit smooth dimming source, along with kind of a strobe function as well. We also have on the full color variant, so the UN and the DAT, We have a linear CCD channel, so from 2800 Kelvin upwards of 10,000 Kelvin. We also have a virtual color wheel that kind of comes from that entertainment background where we have a lot of the gel colors, whether it's Lee or Roscoe colors. We can kind of match that with these units as well, along with a parameter where we can crossfade from any white to any color very, very easily. So again, these are features that have come from entertainments. They could be used not only in galleries, but also in cruise ships or in a lot of venues where there is a bit of entertainment and these units could fit in. We have those features for you readily available. So we can see here the 16-bit dimming working. So there's a fade in from 0 to full in 5 seconds. And here back again where there's absolutely no flicker. And that's really kind of the firmware working in the background to really mimic kind of what a tungsten unit, what an incandescent unit kind of would do with an LED source. We also have the CCT control, rather. So from kind of a very warm color up to a very kind of cool white channel, and again with a very smooth dimming down. And we can see here a crossfade from any white, from a white color to a color. And again, we can use this parameter to mix and create very beautiful pastels and kind of very saturated colors using the RGB source, the RGB warm white source. In terms of control options, as I said, we also have RDM on the on the UN and the DATS units. With RDM, we can change a lot of the parameters. Since there is no menu display on these units, we can do all of those changes through the RDM commands. And that includes changing the DMX mode, so changing from the 3-4 channels to the 15 channel control. We can change the dimming curve as well, so we can match different dimming curves. Dimmer speed as well, and we can change the LED frequency. So if you're working in kind of ultra high definition studios, we can change the LED frequency so it matches with the camera and so you don't see any flicker on camera as well. Through RDM, we can see a lot of other information, so from fixture hours to kind of current hours, source, all the maintenance time, along with kind of checking which firmware you're using, the device info, etc., etc. As I said, there's 3 different uses out of this fixture, so it does not necessarily have to be just kind of a track install unit. We can actually use it in 3 different ways. So we can use a normal track install and then use it a U-track. We have a lot of accessories available from Nordic. So whether it's a new installation, whether it's an old installation, we're making sure that these units work with kind of the industry standards accessories for track installations, along with using them in a kind of hanging installation. So use a C clamp, use the hook clamp with the M12 thread and kind of hang them from anywhere. We also have a lot of accessories available, so all of these clamps could be available from PROLIGHTS. Then we have a ceiling installation kit, so if you want to use these units as a recessed installation, so use them in ceilings, we have these little kits that I'll talk about later on as well, for you to use in any setting. So let's see all of the accessories.
There is a wide range of accessories available for the EclDisplay. This includes a honeycomb louvre, half snoot, full snoot, filter frame, indexable gobble holder, 4-leaf barn doors, and a ceiling kit. The barn door and filter frame kits come together as one. The support can be screwed to the wash lenses, and by opening the top latch, you can insert the filter frame and the barn doors. The full snoot can be used to control the direction and radius of the light source or to reduce glare. Just attach it to the front of the lens by fastening the 3 screws. There is also a half snoot available for the finer details. It can be attached just like the full snoot. The honeycomb louvre offers maximum control over the light beam. With stiff metal tunnels, that allow controlling spill, focusing the light exactly where you want it with minimal loss. The indexable gobo holder allows to insert any E-size gobo. You can fit the holder into the slot of the profile lens. Its clever design allows to rotate the gobo very easily with your finger in any 360-degree position without having to remove the gobo from the holder. The EclDisplay can be used as a recessed spotlight with the ceiling kit. Simply attach the optional flange to the ceiling. Then, screw the main support down and attach the EclDisplay to the arm downwards. You can adjust its height and tilt positions.
So you can find all of these accessories on our websites. Even though there are a lot of accessories, we're making sure that you have all of the right information available to you from the websites. We'll also make available a little configurator that will tell you exactly which accessories work with different units as well, so you don't have to worry about mismatching accessories to sources, etc. We also create a lot of documentation to support all of your projects. So on the websites, you can find personalities for these fixtures. So those are the personalities that can be used on basically all lighting desks available on the markets. If there's not a particular profile that you have, please do get in touch with us and we'll make sure to create that for you. We also have a lot of the drawings available, so from the 2D to 3D drawings. We also have the Revit files, DWG files as well. If there's not anything you'll see on the website, please do get in touch with us, and our dedicated team in the kind of the architectural department will make sure to create that for you. We've also created a lot of different photometrics. So in our labs, we do have ways of testing the different sources, the different LEDs, and the different optics as well. We've created full, very comprehensive reports on all of the sources with all of the different optics, but do get in touch with us if there's a particular information that you need. We'll make sure to supply that for you. We also have a lot of the data sheets, the MX charts, manuals, etc., along with tender specifications. So if you are working on a project that does require a tender specification, please do get in touch with us. All of the documentation is available on PROLIGHTS.it. As you can see here, we created a lot of different parameters on all of our photometric reports. So from measuring the TM30 values, from measuring the CRI values, there's a whole lot of information that we can make available and supply to you to make sure that these units fit your installation. Now, let's look at our promotional video. That's it for me. You can find all of this information available on our website, so please visit PROLIGHTS.it. You can also find a link straight to these products in the description of this video. If there's anything you need, any information that's not available on the website and you need for your project, please do get in touch with us. Our team will reach out to you as soon as possible. Thank you, and I'll see you at the next one.